What's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. If you're new to the page, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. Make sure you hit all. I'm just stopping in just to talk to you guys very briefly about some things that been on my mind in the area of investing. And then I'm going to do my inspirational at the end. For those of you that's not interested in my inspirational, when I finish with the thought of stock to invest in for the future, you could just sign off. Easy enough. All right, let's go. I was thinking about Kathy Woods, and I was thinking about her thought process, which I agree with her thought process. You know, a lot of the old talking heads. They were like she should close her fund down and that type of deal. And she talks about disruptive innovation in key areas, right? So if you're new to this and you don't know what it is, just take a pen down and write this down. She has 5 key areas that she think is going to grow exponentially over the next 5 to 10 years, right? And I agree with her. One is DNA sequencing, all right? DNA sequencing. 2 is robotics. 3 is energy storage. 4 is artificial intelligence. And 5 is blockchain technology. I happen to agree with all 5 of them. All right, you got companies like Square, Tesla, Zillow, the housing Zillow, Roku, Nvidia, just to name a few. Those are some of the companies that she's investing in some of her funds, her active ETF. Now, I do have her ETF, ARC, but I also invest separately in some of these companies individually. And I think she's right. If you look at the history of the world, you look at even since the 1800s, the rail system, real disruptive steam engines, the automobile, how people laughed at that. Even airplanes, how people thought that that was a farce. And then the internet. People were like, "Oh, this is crazy," and then you had innovative people that were saying, "Hey, one day everybody's going to have a computer in their home." And there were people that was poo-pooing on that. And now look, we have computers in our hands as far as cell phones, right? One of the opportunities that these technologies and these disruptive innovations, one of the things that it did for a lot of commoners is it provided wealth for those who invested early. And I think right now, because of technology and at where technology is right now, it has never been here in the history of the world. And so there's so many platforms that are being creative off of new technology. Just think about it. People are working from home. You never thought about that at a bigger rate than ever. 2020 has changed everything. You look at people that are literally handling their businesses from their cell phones. And that is it. That's how they make their revenue. And then even the way they get paid, financial banks, it's everything. Fintech. Look at all of these things that are changing. And so if you have a little money and you really want to build great wealth, you always hear the term, if you had invested $1,000 into Apple, 30 years ago, where would you be now? That's that type of stuff. I'm just off the top of my head. And so you got to think about that right now, where we are right now with this innovative technology, this disruptive technology. Where will it be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, but especially 20 years from now? I really think in 5 years from now, this world will be looking way different than it is now. In 10 years, those of us that invest in some of this disruptive technology will be multi millionaires. And so I just think that if you have a little money, that you could start dollar cost averaging into some of this technology. So down the road, we'll just start looking at some of these companies and just doing deep dives on them, because I'm about helping you guys to create generational wealth as I create generational wealth. You know, the good book says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. Okay. And so that's what we want to do. You know, I'm going to ask an honest question, and I just want you guys to think about it. And this is no disrespect to our elders who we're standing on their shoulders. But how many of you would trade your financial, even as good as bad as it is now, how many of you would trade your financial position with your parents? Most of you would say no. I wouldn't trade, because most of you are doing better than your parents did. Most of you that's hearing me. Now, that's not all of you, but most of you are. But you are afforded opportunities that your parents weren't now with changing technology. And so that's what I want you to think about, and your children. You want to start your children to thinking about this stuff early. Now, DNA sequencing. Let's say your grandmother had breast cancer, and your mother, the mother dies of of breast cancer. So you got two generations. With DNA sequencing down the road, they'll be able to alter things to where the third generation don't have to deal with breast cancer. That there is a lot of money poured into research right now. Robotics. You think about EVs and what makes the cars. It's robotics. Think about 3D printing and all of that. Energy storage. Just think about batteries, battery technology. Other than the skateboard chassis of electric vehicles, EVs, the number one component is batteries. And they're trying to make them safer, and they're trying to make them go longer. And that is going to be a huge industry. All right. Artificial intelligence, AI, that's everywhere. Autonomous driving. Any company that uses artificial intelligence. All of your FANG uses artificial intelligence. Facebook, Google, artificial intelligence, knowing what to buy, knowing what the consumers are doing. That's artificial intelligence. And then blockchain technology. You guys know cryptocurrency. It's here to stay, whether you love it or hate it. It's here to stay. And there's a lot of money to be made in all of these areas. All right, good people, I'm going to just leave it there without going into a really, really deep dive. This is really for a point of conversation and something for you guys to think about right now, because one of these days you're going to look back on this video, say 4 years from now, and you're going to be saying, man, had I invested in some of these companies that Larry was talking about and these other people were talking about. But a lot of these talking heads were saying, Kathy Woods needs to shut her fund down. No, you need to shut your mouth down. All right, I said it. It's Sunday. We're going to keep it positive today. I know I hear this noise. Y'all always say I need a new chair. But for those of you that are here for the stock, that's all I wanted to talk about. And it's Sunday, so I like to go into a piece of inspiration. So if you don't like inspiration, here's where you sign off. Usually I have a flashing yellow light that says warning, warning, inspiration coming. All right. But we love you guys. We want you to stick with us. Anyway, if I've said anything that you like, please continue to hit that like button. It does help to keep me alive. But I want you guys to think about this when it comes to dreams. And there's never been a truer statement made. Never share big dreams with small-minded people. I'm going to say that again. Never share big dreams with small-minded people. I always say everyone has brokers. You got real estate brokers, you got stock brokers, and you got neighborhood brokers. Neighborhood brokers, they're the people you came up with. They watch you come up. They watch you struggle. They watch you start to succeed. And then as soon as they see you starting to succeed, they're the same people in the same spot. If you're from the hood, they still on the corner. For wherever you at, you got these neighborhood brokers. And you will finally realize one of these days that their job is just to discourage you. I always say they broke and they want you broker. And you just need to get rid of those people, right? You just need to cut them off. And I understand some of you are related to those brokers. Unfortunately, some of you guys are married to those brokers. And I'm praying for you to break free from the mentality of that people always telling you what you should not be doing, all right? What you should be doing is thriving and moving forward and growing. So I always say, think and dream big. Think and dream big. Just like these innovators that are making these. Look at the CEOs of these companies. They're innovators. They dream and think big. And so what I want you to do today on Sunday is just when this is over, I just want you to think about what your life would be like if you weren't worried about any bills. If you had enough money to pay off your house, your cars, all your debt, and you didn't have to worry about how I'm going to live tomorrow, how would you live your life? I want you to dream about that, because we're going to continue this and we're going to help you get to that point. It's going to take some work, but eventually we're going to help you to get to that point. So I just want you to dream about what would you do. Some of you guys might sit back in a rocking chair. Some of you guys might go out and help the poor. But either way it goes, you're going to do something. And I urge you to really start to do something for other people, because when you do that, your legacy never, ever dies. Think about this. Most of us live an off-the-rack life. And just think about a suit. Most of us live an off-the-rack life, and we really should be living a custom-fit, tailored life. Meaning you should be living a life that you want. You know, my good buddy Ron Lewis always say, you sleep a third of your life, you work a third of your life, and you got a third of your life to do whatever you want to do. It's just like our day. You sleep a third of your day, 8 hours. You work a third of your day, 8 hours, and you got a third of your life to do whatever you want to do. I know, it varies from person to person, but in general. And so what happens is we got to eat. So we eat a third of our life. We got to sleep. So we sleep a third of our life. We got to work. So we work a third of our life. But that third, what we get to do, we never get to that, because we work all of our lives and then we retire and we get sick and we die. Think about that. It makes no sense. That's sheep. We're sheep, like going off of a cliff. And so I always tell people say, what is your biggest fear? My biggest fear is just living an average life. I don't want to live an average life, and neither do you. That's why you're listening to me right now. So I just want you to just take some time without working, without, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. Just take some time and dream. All right? But dream big. All right, good people, I'm going to leave it right there. Hey, today is the 11th. It's Sunday the 11th. I want to tell you that I emailed my YouTube buddy, Stockmo, and tomorrow's the 12th. So I may be, starting tomorrow, I may be limiting the comments, meaning I'll make a post like I'm doing today, but your comments won't show right away. But I still want you to comment, but they won't show right away because we would have to approve every single one of them until this fiasco with YouTube. I appreciate YouTube for this platform, but they're getting these spam notifications, okay? There again, good people, I want to tell you, not just on my page, but on any page, if you see somebody talking about a WhatsApp, here's my phone number, or talk to my broker, it is not me, it's spam. And the same thing for every other page. Unfortunately, some of the YouTubers in the finance community is getting emails from YouTube saying that by the 12th, which is tomorrow, that they're going to take some of these pages down. Now, if that happens, we're going to keep an eye on that. We want to make sure Stockmo and Stephen Graham, that those two pages, those are two that we know got the email. We're going to make sure that we email, text, and tweet the CEO of YouTube and say we want these pages reinstated. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but we're going to see tomorrow if it does happen. And if it does happen, we're going to band together and we're going to fix this problem. We are not operating in fear. All right, good people, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. Always in signing off. Live, love, laugh, and learn. Love each and every one of you.